Hi guys, my name is Nadia Parsatan, and today I will be discussing the topic of biotech and genetic engineering and how this has have positive and negative impacts within our society. So first, let's define what biotech exactly is. It's a field of science that uses organisms and cells to help develop and produce better technology within our society. And I will be defining four different types of biotech both that have both positive and negative impacts within society. So the first one is red biotech. What exactly is red biotech? Well, red biotech is something that is within the medical field that help produce better medicine for our own health and as well as our environment. So some examples of that is vaccines, drugs, and gene therapy. Next, let's understand what the second type of biotech would be green biotech, which helps build agriculture within our environment pretty much. And an example of that is climate change enhancement and nutritional value. Now let's go on to our third type of biotech, which is blue biotech. For blue biotech, it's pretty much that type of biotech that help build better products within our freshwater and marine environment as well. And some examples of that is biodegradable plastic and algae. Now, within biodegradable plastic, an example of that is like pretty much like when you go to Starbucks and you have a new, like they have like cups, they have these new cups that are made out of biodegradable plastic to help with the pollution within our environment plastic that kills certain types of animals. So that would be a certain type of biodegradable plastic. Now next, which is white biotech. So for white biotech, it's pretty much uses microorganisms and living cells to create new products. Now, examples of that would be enzymes and biofuels. Within enzyme, it's pretty much a type of protein that is helped build, and within the biotech environment, they're trying to create, better ways to help create better enzymes and biofuels, it pretty much, reduce and create new products. Now next, let's go on and understand how biotech is pretty much creating positive but as well as negative impacts. So the first positive impact is that with biotech, you are able to create better health benefits within society. And you're also you're able to make people have better food security where they feel safe not only buying the food, but as well as eating it. And then you will see economic growth because more people will feel, you know, with biotech and science that see the knowledge of what's going behind these different products that they're able to buy because it's more safe, which is where get more income to create better innovation. But let's go on to the negative impacts. So the first negative impact is that with biotech, because it's constantly advancing and it's creating more innovation, it's basically going to threaten like small farmers that don't use advanced technology. So those small farmers wouldn't be able, to get those supplies to, be able to be able to continue making more products or producing more products because they just don't have the money to be able to afford biotech. So the next negative effect would be where, you know, when we're creating more of these biotechs, there's going to be a diminution species within our biodiversity department or organisms of the food web because, certain animals are able to adapt to certain environments. And if within our biodiversity, you're gonna start seeing that species are being, diminished because they're not being able to adapt to their environment or where they live because biotechnology is a factor where they have to produce. And if the biodiverse, if the certain species cannot be able to adapt within that environment, then they wouldn't be able to reproduce more species, which leads to extinctions. So now, let's go on to the conclusion. With biotech, um, this type of technology is, pretty much an early adopter. It, it's not guaranteed that, yes, new biotech technology is being produced, but it's not guaranteed that, it's going to make our world a better place, or we can't make any promises on that because there are some side effects of it. So it is an early adopter because it's very predictable. It's it's hard to predict exactly what's going to happen. We can't make any promises. And from being a pre-med student, I am able to have, you know, a somewhat of a background of what biotech is and how it is being, produced and what happens within our species department. So I did have prior knowledge to this topic. And lastly, in conclusion, this tech can be used in both classrooms and the workplace. So for example, as a USF student, when you're taking multiple science classes, you also have, lab involved. And within the lab, you are able to use biotechnology to help better understand, certain topics, and you're able to better understand certain topics of, the science field. For example, we use, if you're taking a biodiversity class, you're able to understand how certain species are adapting to climate change, and you can use green biotech for that to better understand how our environment is improving. So you can use this both in the classroom and in the workplace. And for workplace, you can use this to be able to use biotech to help produce better innovation and help promote that within the workplace to create a better society. Now, these are my references that I use for this presentation. I use this to help me, create a better understanding of the four different biotechs that I just discussed and how it helps improve our society, and as well as look at how, biotech doesn't have as much promises as it does, that we can't guarantee any promises because there are also some side effects. Now, let me go through the process of how I conducted this project. So first I created a brainstorm. I wanted to, connect my project to something that's very important to me, which is health and being a pre-med student, because I also want to become a doctor. And understanding how biotech works helps me better understand what I want to do in the future. So that's why I wanted to brainstorm an idea that's around biology and technology. So I thought of biotech. Next, I researched any vague definitions that I had. So anything that, like any type of terms I didn't understand, I wanted to make sure I fully understood what those were about. So I just researched like anything that I didn't understand. Then after that, I gathered all my resources. As you saw on the reference page, those are all my resources. I gathered that. And with that, I was able to create this PowerPoint and be able to teach you guys about what biotech is and how it has positive and negative effects on society. Then I am filming this research topic, and then after I film this, I will be reflecting and see how I did as a presenter, as well as, making sure that I was able to present the information clearly and precisely. With that being said, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for watching.